No. There we
Okay,
go.
I will share my screen. So, hello. Today I'll be presenting the emerging keto and low carbohydrate diet trends. So before we start, I would introduce myself. So my name is Michelle Sheikh. I'm soon to be a dietitian in May, actually. I'm very excited for that. And currently, I'm doing my internship with Hamilton Health Sciences. And like Karen mentioned, I'm doing my population and public health placement with Food Venture program. Um, so before I start, I think Karen would like to tell more about what the Food Venture program is.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle. So I'm just gonna do a quick intro about Food Venture Program. What we are is we're basically an online education platform for food entrepreneurs that wanna that have a food product idea and that want to bring it to retail shelves. So we, in a nutshell, we help food entrepreneurs turn their ideas into retail ready food products. And so we have 6 different programs that we offer, and they can be taken either individually or through your local municipal business center. So our programs are offered through business centers, and we take cohorts of up to 20 people. And all of the programs are offered online through Zoom. Unfortunately, for now, at least until maybe we can go back to more in-person sessions. So that's a bit about us. And if you want to get more information, just head over to foodventureprogram.com. Back to you, Michelle.
Thank you. So before I dive into the survey, I just wanted to briefly define what the two diets are and when we're talking about it. So the ketogenic diet is the diet that is low in carbohydrates and high in healthy fats. And the low carbohydrate diet is the one that is only low in carbohydrates. So I recently found a report which was published actually recently in November of last year. So they did a global analysis and also COVID-19 impact on people's purchasing behaviors. And they looked at product type, for example, like supplements and beverages and snacks, and also like distribution channels um, like supermarkets, specialty stores, other hypermarkets. Um, oh, we have another person joining in. Hello. Um, I'm not sure who joined, but I'll continue. So, so we looked at the report, and it said that there would be an annual compound growth rate, like increase of keto market by 5.5%, and reaching up to like 15.64 billion US dollars by 2027. And they said that North Americans will be the biggest contributors to this growth rate, which was very interesting to find. Um, and even if you just do a normal Google research and you type like low carb groceries, it's so surprising. You see that um, like there are a lot of low carbohydrate grocery stores now, and even like other grocery stores selling low carbohydrate products. Like for example, there's a Markham which is named low carb groceries, which is very interesting. Also in the market, you see a lot of products. I find all of these products at Costco. There is a low carb bread, which is only 2 grams of carbohydrates and very high in fiber and protein. We see these keto bombs, which are high in fat and like zero added sugars. And then this egg wraps and cauliflower wraps, which are like zero in carbs and very low in calories and keto friendly. And the keto nuggets. They're basically like chocolate and almond clusters. They're very good. I have tried them. We also see low carb cooking at homes. For example, the first picture on the screen is the cloud bread, which is basically whipped up egg whites and then you bake them. I've never tried it, but I've seen tons of videos and it seems very interesting. Um, we also see like people using vegetables instead of like pasta. Um, for example, the zucchini pasta and the spaghetti squash. And we also like cauliflower crust and cauliflower rice. So we see a lot of substitution or alternatives to carbohydrate these days. Um, and I have tried some of them. I've definitely tried the spaghetti squash before. I was able to also find similar studies looking at Canadian perceptions on these diets and what do they think of ketogenic diet and low carbohydrate diet, and why are people moving towards this trend. So one recent study was in January last year by Dalhousie University, and they did a cross Canada survey. What they found was that a lot of people start ketogenic diet or low carbohydrate diet, but a lot of people are not following it. Only 4% of Canadian population was found to be following the ketogenic diet. And the biggest reason why people start these diet is because it is considered like a new weight loss wonder. And we see a lot of like attractions towards these diets and the products in the market, but we don't see a lot of people following these diets for long term. A similar study in UK, which was done in September of 2020, also looked at factors that influence these diets, like people's education on low carbohydrates or what make them decide. And similar results were found there too. Main reasons why people are attracted towards these diet is because of uh, the perception of weight loss. And a lot of people also mentioned that they use internet as their main source for nutrition information, versus the eating well guidelines that are developed. And I think a lot of it is because of like what's on the social media and that's what they follow. Other studies that I found was how ketogenic diet might be a good treatment for epilepsy, or how like low carbohydrate diets might be a treatment for metabolic syndromes or other chronic conditions. However, there were still a lot of research gaps. Um, for example, we still don't know why people are buying these low carb or keto products, and what kind of products are they looking for. Like, why do they choose one keto product over the other, and what nutrition value do they look for when they're buying these products? Like, what's the main thing that is most important to them? Is it low calories? Is it low carbs? Is it high protein? um, so I decided to do this survey, and it was very short, and it basically looked at people's perceptions of these diets and assessing any new eating behaviors, and even I don't know if like COVID might have an impact on it, and if there are any gaps in the keto or low carbohydrate products in the market. I know we have tons of products now, but is there anything else that people are looking for when they're grocery shopping or buying products online or eating outside? So, how I distributed my survey was just posting it on my personal social media, so my LinkedIn, Facebook post, and I also made an Instagram story. Um, the survey was open for 1 week, and I got a total of 57 responses. So my first question was on gender identity, and as you can see on the pie graph, 70% of my population were female and about 25% were male. My second question was on age category, and like on the graph, 50% of the population were between 18 to 25 years old. And sorry, just going back, and we also had a variability of ages in other age group too. I had between 26 to 35, some 36 to 49, some 50 to 65, and also a few were above 65 years old. My third question was on education level, and 60% had some sort of university or college degree, and 25% had master's or PhD, and there were 15% of the population was also in high school. So I had a wide demographic. However, about 65% of my population was from Canada. The other 30% were from Asia. I also had about 5% of my population from Europe. So I had a wide range of populations. So my next question was, what is your current status? And I asked for check all that apply. And about 19 responses said they were students, 18 said they were working from home, and about 7 said they were working from home or on site, and they're also students. Then I had a few who were like unemployed, or they prefer not to say. So my question 6 was on what specific nutrition value do you look for when buying products? And I asked them to rate from least important to most important. And my options were, like you can see on the side of the slide, low carb, low calories, low sugar, high protein, high fat, low sodium, and none. So the things that were least important to the population, about 57% said high carbohydrate. And then I had another 51% of population said low carbohydrate. And then about another 50% said high calories. So I think about 60% of the population wouldn't like something that was high in carbohydrates, but then another 50% said they didn't care if it's high or low carbohydrate. And the things that were most important to them was low fat. About 45% said they wanted low fat. Another 36% of population said low calories, and about 33% of the population said they wanted something that is high in protein. So my next question was on like the claims. So if a product claims to be ketogenic, I'm more likely to buy it over a similar product. So if they see a product that says ketogenic, will they buy that snack over some product that would not say that claim? And about 70% of the population said no. Um, my next question was on I'm willing to pay more for products that are, and I asked for check all that apply. And just by looking at the results, about 50% of the population said they would pay more for products that are sustainable and organic. And the next biggest one was local. About 47% said they would buy something that is local. And another 45% said they'll be willing to pay more for products that are higher in protein. So my next two questions were if they are following a ketogenic diet or low carbohydrate diet. After this, I don't know if you did my survey. My survey was then divided into different sections. So if they said yes to a ketogenic diet, um, they were asked to do questions in section 2. And if they said yes to a low carbohydrate diet, they were asked to do questions in section 3. The People who responded no, they were not required to answer the rest of the questions. They could end the survey. But I think most of the people still ended up answering some of the questions in the later sections. However, for these two questions, as you can see on the results too, most of them said they were not following either the keto or the low carbohydrate diet. For after that, I just wanted to know how long they were following the keto or the low carbohydrate diet. And most of them were either following between 0 to 6 months. And I had some people responding 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks. Um, and there was a variability on the other responses, as you can see on the pie graph. The next question was, when buying products, what makes you choose one product over the other? And for both the keto products and low carbohydrate products, I had similar responses. For both of them, about 35 to 40% said they would buy products with the higher quality, and then taste was another big factor, and last was price. The next quick question was on how often do they buy products from supermarket that are ketogenic or low carbohydrate. So for the ketogenic, there was quite a bit of variability. So 30% said occasionally, um, another 22% said never. Um, but you can also see like some of them also said very frequently, about 11%. So there was a lot of variability in that. For low carbohydrate, there was mostly 50% said occasionally, and then another 30% said very frequently. Um, yeah. So the next question was on how often do they eat products from their restaurants? I just wanted to see if they are willing to buy more from the supermarket, but if they're eating out, are they following the same principles, or is it just when they're buying products? So for the ketogenic products, I think on the survey it said 37% would never um, eat products from the restaurant that are keto. Another 30% said they would occasionally eat products that are keto. And about 15% said they would rarely eat um, restaurant foods that are keto. And for low carbohydrate, about 40% said occasionally, and 25% said rarely, and another 15% said never. So there were some similar trends for both the diets. So this question was looking at if they buy products from websites that are ketogenic or low carbohydrate. So I just wanted to see, where are people mostly buying the products from? Is it like the supermarkets or restaurants, or are they buying online now, like especially because of COVID? And for keto, about 50% said they never buy products online. And then 20% said rarely, and about 11% said occasionally. And for the low carbohydrate, we have a similar response. About 50% said never, and about 20% said very rarely or rarely, and another 20% said they occasionally buy products from websites that are low in carbohydrates. So my last question was on what products are they looking for in the market in general? And I had a few options. Here also you can see some similar responses. For example, for both keto and low carbohydrate, most of them said they were looking for more snacks that are keto or that are low carbohydrate. The other one was like bread. They were looking for keto bread or low carbohydrate bread. Huh. Um, there were quite a bit of limitations to the survey. First one was like a very wide demographic. So I had people, most of them were from Canada, but I had some from Asia and some from Europe. So I don't know if it's okay to assume the responses of people from Asia, for example, can be generalized to the Canadian population. And my second one was most of my responses were women, so we're not capturing other gender identities in the population. The next one was the specific age range. So my population who responded were between 18 to 24. So we're not really capturing people who are younger or older and what do they think of these diets and what are they looking for in the market. In the education level too, most of my population was had some sort of education and they had university or college degree, um, and the survey is not considering anyone um, who might not have this education, and also like the access of the survey to people who didn't had know about the survey or had access to internet to do the survey were not considered in these results. So in conclusion, not a lot of people in the age group of 18 to 25 years are following the low carbohydrate and keto diet. And, and most people like to see more keto and low carbohydrate snacks in the market. And when buying these products, most of them go for products that are high in quality or that taste good and that are lower in price. And when looking at nutrition value of certain products, a lot of people are looking for products that are low in calories, lower in fat, and high in protein. And people are willing to pay more for products that are sustainable, organic, local, and or high protein. Um, some opportunities for future research. I think even just doing this survey on a larger sample size and even with more variety in demographics can help us better understand people perceptions on eating behaviors and their purchasing behaviors. And just trying to find out what age group and education levels are actually following these diets would be something interesting we could do. And overall, just the impacts on these diets on like our social, physical, and environmental health. And even like if these products that we see in the market, if people are actually using them and if they're seeing the changes they expect to see when they buy these products. And that is the end of my presentation. And I would be happy to hear your thoughts or if you have any questions. And here's my contact information too, in case you want to